Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're taking a look at the upgraded version of Mary. She is a Frost element back row wizard and she plays as a strict ult based DPS. That means her entire playstyle revolves around nuking with her ultimate, and boy, it hits really hard. Her ultimate at level 3 does 1136% of her own attack to all enemies, and she has the highest motion values in the game. Just for comparison, Team who is known for her high DPS or ult does 1192%, and this is at level 5 by the way. And that's not all. Against fire enemies, Mary gets a 200% damage boost when using her ultimate. With just a 34 seconds cooldown, let's make her the go-to pick for any fire heavy content. Her active skill at level 3 boosts her crit damage by 60% and crit rate by 9% for 12 seconds. With only a 14 seconds cooldown, that means you can keep her damage buffed majority of the time. Now we suck passives, because this is where Mary becomes a whole different beast. Her first passive gives her an extra 56% crit damage and boosts her ultimate skill by 34%. So even without relying on elemental advantage, her ult still shreds enemies. Her second passive is what really defines her playstyle. She gains a 10% ignore damage reduction, which is a really huge in the late story stages where bosses come stacked with a ridiculous amount of damage reduction values. But here's the real game changer. Whenever she kills an enemy, she reduces her ultimate cooldown by 14 seconds. This effect has 5 second internal cooldown, but if you time it right, you can get multiple reductions per stage. This makes her really good in the story stages with 3 or 4 waves of enemies before reaching the boss, and it also helps her increasing her overall DPS by up to 43%. The key is to time her ultimate to snipe low HP enemies. When she gets the kill, not only does she wipe out the entire group, but she also guarantees half of her ultimate cooldown back. So you basically turning Mary into a wave clearing machine, setting her up so her ult is always nearly ready again by the time you reach the boss. Even if the enemies aren't fire type, the cooldown refund still makes her worth it. Just make sure to wait for 5 seconds before going for the next kill. Now let's talk about her resonance card, which is a really huge part of her overall performance. Her card gives her a 60% magic attack boost, 24% crit damage, and a whopping 50% increase to her ultimate skill damage. This makes it one of the best resonance cards for Mary, and honestly it's a really strong substitute for other burst relying characters too. It's a core piece of her kit and makes a noticeable difference in how hard she hits. Now for the pet, and yeah, it's actually really good. The pet gives a 30% attack along with a 5% ignore damage reduction, which is great for tackling late game stage bosses with high damage reduction stats. So not only is a strong pick for Mary herself, it also synergizes well in the Frost based teams and can be clutch in certain raid bosses or some story stages. If you're focusing on late game or star reincarnation content, I definitely recommend getting at least one copy of this pet. It adds a solid amount of value and it will help you reach a higher scores. When it comes to specialties and gearing, Mary is pretty straightforward. Her kit already gives her a 140% crit damage before you even factor in the external buffs and gear, but it also means you need to be careful about diminishing returns. Instead of stacking even more crit damage, the smartest move is to balance her out. Go for 2 or 3 attack percentage rolls if possible. If you already have a high base attack, you can run 2 crit damage rolls plus 1 attack percentage as a hybrid option. Alright, let's talk about team building, because Mary actually fits in 2 major roles depending on how you want to use her. She can be either played as a hyper carry in freeze based teams or a wave clearer that supports another main DPS. What's great is that both setups actually share a lot of the same support units, so you can shift her role around depending on the content. Now let's start with her freeze team, where she acts as a main carry. As a wizard, she really benefits from having Galahad in the team, not just for the magic attack buff but also for the damage immunity support, which lets her and the team stay safe while nuking enemies. For general support and survivability, you want to slot in Rhea or Diane, or even both if the content is tough. They help boost damage while keeping the team alive through harder waves. The final slot is flexible depending on what you need. Personally, I love running Anissa here. She takes full advantage of the existing buffs in the team and she even outdamages Mary. It's a really strong combo that I've been using a lot recently against fire enemies. You can also consider Merlin if you want more crowd control, and she can hold the crit rate or a crit damage resonance card for the team. Plus she synergizes well with Anissa by applying freeze for her, which activates her damage boost. Catherine is also another good option for DPS too. Now if you're not using Mary as your main carry, she shines in another role, a wave clearer for your actual DPS. This works even against non-fire enemies and works even better in the story stages with multiple waves. This setup is all about building the team around your intended carry, you want your main DPS to soften up the mobs a little bit and reduce their HP, and then Mary comes in with her burst to snipe the low HP mobs. This is not only clears the stage faster, but also triggers her cooldown reduction, setting her up for the next wave. What's nice is she can fit in almost any comp in this role. You can throw her in the team-up teams, Lancelot teams, or even shock comps. It really doesn't matter what element is, she's just there to wipe the trash mobs and help your carry shine in the boss phase by saving all of your team's ultimate for the final boss wave. So at the end of the day, Mary is a good DPS, but she's not quite on the level of the current meta carries like Anessa the Frost Queen, Tima, or Lancelot. On paper, she was supposed to be the strongest damage dealer in the game, her motion values are the highest we've seen, but in practice, that doesn't really translate in-game. Honestly, I feel like she was nerfed before her release, and what we got is a character that feels a bit awkward in actual gameplay. The devs clearly designed her to be a burst-relying carry, which is a cool concept, but the issue, she has like a long window of really low DPS between her ultimates, which lower her in the team overall damage. Personally, I think she'd feel way better if her ult cooldown reduced on every hit and her motion value were lower with it to compensate. Or lowering the internal cooldown for her ult cooldown, for example, to 2 seconds, that would make her way more consistent and competitive as a main carry. That said, she's still a solid unit, especially in content like Star Reincarnation or raid bosses, and if we get more fights like the Kraken where bosses summon mobs mid-fight, Mary's value is going to skyrocket thanks to her cooldown reset mechanic. It also seems like the devs are slowly shifting toward mono element teams, and Mary may be just the beginning of that trend. So should you summon Mary? If you're looking for a main carry, I'd say just hold off. She's just too restrictive right now, especially for new players. It's better to save your gems for a rerun or a more versatile unit, but if you're looking for a frost type DPS or a wave clearer or someone to help with raid boss or Star Reincarnation content, then yes, picking her is really worth it. Just make sure to grab her resonance card before transcending her, it's essential for her damage. And if you want better scores in the endgame modes like Star Reincarnation or raids, try to also get one copy of her pet, it's really strong for her in frost teams. Overall, I'd rate her a solid A or A+ DPS depending on the matchup. She shines when enemies are weak to frost or when you need a wave clearer, but outside of that, she's a bit mediocre. For new players, don't overspend on her thinking she'll replace your main carry. Get what you need for the future, but keep saving. In this game, the devs do buff units from time to time, and sometimes they completely rework characters, so Mary could get way stronger later on, or they may be making a support character for burst damage dealers. For now, just go for T0 plus card or plus pit, and then T5 or T3 if you want to maximize her DPS. I hope this video helped you out. I really want to show Mary's damage against the fire boss, but that stage won't drop until Tuesday, so sorry about that. If you find this video helpful, please drop a like and subscribe. It really helps me out and keeps the content going. Good luck on your summons, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.